behind the scenes moment that I contributed was a whole lot of stuff. I was picking up a whole bunch of stuff, getting dirt all on me. I was climbing up on poles and stuff, paws, you know what I mean?
Don't say that on the interview, pal. Stop.
Come on, bro.
I was really inspired by the previous semester's short film, Earl's World, and just that kind of like supernatural-esque, scary kind of vibe. I originally had the idea of gnomes, but I felt it was going to be too comical, and I didn't really want to mess with gnomes. And so then I kind of went back to my heritage a little bit. I know Slavic mythology is pretty dense and deep, and so I was looking at kind of Slavic like cryptids, and that's how I got to the Leshy. And I did a bunch of research on it. I was like, this is a pretty cool character that I'd like to show people about. We had several different auditions, and Jordan, I felt like he was really good for the part, just like aesthetic wise. He kind of like has that personality that I was writing, or that I wrote. And so that was pretty cool to see that, and working with him is really cool because he has the experience behind the scenes too, on sets, and it definitely proved useful when working on a student film.
I heard about the audition through a Facebook group, one of the DFW actors groups. I was interested, one, because I've been through the Media Tech student film process before, and just not on the acting side. I did want to get a little bit more acting experience, and I thought, why not do it on a student short? And I think it was a great growing and learning experience for me and the team on the whole production. I've been taking a lot of writing classes recently, and so I've been wanting to put my acting skills to the test.
The character that I played is the Leshy, of course, and he's a forest entity, and he protects the forest from people or anything that tries to cause destruction. Day one of the shoot, I was able to prepare by filling out the costume, let alone it let me breathe life into this Leshy character.
Most memorable moment of B.T.S, I'll say it have to be Amanda when she left her keys in the truck and she had everybody looking for it all day, all night. And we told her we probably to check we told her to check the truck.
What I experienced on set, it was very much interesting and also overwhelming at the same time, but it was very informative in a way that I never knew until I actually did something on set. When it comes to creating a budget, it's more like an estimate of what you're gonna spend. But at the same time, you and everyone in your group needs to put forth the money you have for the budget.
Working with the crew, it's really nice and makes me proud to see everyone grow. We have setbacks and arguments and stuff, but just like to see the progression of where we started or like our first shoot to where we are now. It's really nice to see everyone chipping in and doing their jobs for the most part.
Some of the complications working with the DP and the director is mostly communication. We still learning each other, but all in all, it's gonna work out because you got to work with different people. I really enjoyed working with them overall, and I definitely plan on working with them in the future. So not too much, not too many problems, but it's just communication issues.
The most difficult job being a grip had to be, I would say, I guess, dealing with different personalities for sure.
Towards the end of the shoot, after it was a long day of shooting, there was a lot of arguing and whatnot throughout the shoot, but at the end of the day, we all came together
When we first started shooting, it was frustrating. I'm not gonna lie, it was frustrating. It was days where I was telling myself, man, I ain't coming back because I don't want to deal with this. But you know, I prayed about it every night, and then every day I woke up, I was enthused to try it again. And I say the first couple days was kind of rocky, but the chemistry that we built together, it worked out in the end. Like, we all got it together. We learned what everybody was capable of doing. We learned their weaknesses, their strengths, and we just played it like that, and you know, put people where they needed to be to get the job done. And most of all, we started listening to our director, giving her the opportunity to say what she needed to say without being interrupted.
A first-time director definitely should know, have their shit together. I didn't, and I had to gather it, and it was very difficult. There was a couple breakdowns, several, but it's part of the learning process, because then you learn to cope. Like, okay, I know in the future I don't want to break down like this again, so I need to fix like that. It's very meticulous, and there's a lot of different things that you have to think about, and a lot of different things that you have to think about in different ways too. And that's why it's nice to have a team, because then you really get to go through those ideas and find the best one.
The two jobs that I liked the most were the graphic designing position and also being a grip and gaffer on set. Both were challenging, both were hard, but I got through them and we made something really wonderful. The way I came up with the vision for the poster was I basically took some inspiration from different horror posters, but I wanted to have my own twist on it.
I would say my death scene, that was like my most fun scene to shoot. I mean, I get to play dead, like you just lay there, but like there was specifically this one shot where like my feet were dangling, and that was just really cool because I had the idea for it and the fact that we could do it, and I think it looked really cool. It was fun. I was like, cool, that's it. One thing that I want people to know when going into shooting a film, or specifically the next semester students, definitely don't shoot at night. Or if you do, like, have stable power and no curfews. And definitely, like, make sure you have set schedules and availability, because that was definitely something that we struggled with. Just making sure that everyone on board has pretty open or availability. Yeah, stay away from nighttime.
Being a PA, don't always be on your phone. Be ready to move as fast as possible. Always be ready to do something when the director tells you to do it, and just always be there. Like, doesn't matter how little or big your part is, just show up. I enjoyed the most actually just being outdoors and figuring out how to get all the power to all the lights and stuff. The funnest thing that I experienced was watching Jordan jump over the railing. That one shoot was so fun to watch and be a part of.
The advice that I would love to give to them is communicate with your director every chance you get. If you got any question or if you unsure about anything, ask, don't assume, because everybody might not be thinking the same thing. And you know, most of all, just trust each other. Trust your director, trust your gut. What you think is not a good shot may be beautiful to everybody else. And what you think is a great shot may not be the one.
My favorite scene on the movie was when Tony got attacked by the Leshy, played by Aniston, our director. It was funny because it was fun because I ain't never like been on that side of a movie production being made, so just to see the acting and stuff and the actors and actresses trying to maintain character, that was pleasant to see. But it overall came out to be my favorite shot. So yeah, and then with the aesthetics, the costume design and things like that. So I would have to say that's my favorite part of the movie. Being over the movie set for the first time, it was a good experience, a great experience, especially with the horror genre. You know, that's my favorite genre out of our movie. So it was fun to be a part of a horror production.
There's like some things that, I guess some leshy lore that I may have like skipped out on in the script. I'm quite esoteric, so I kind of overlook things sometimes because I'm like, oh, I just assume that people will get there. And that's not always the case, but specifically with the Leshy and just like Slavic, I guess, history is in general is very like spoken word, not really written down. So there's a bunch of like varying depictions and stories and characteristics to the Leshy, depending on where where you hear it from, or vice versa, that kind of thing. Shout out to everyone for coming. It's the hard work that my class put into it. Shout out to myself. I'm so proud of myself, and to say that feels really good, and to mean it and feel it. Yeah, I'm really fucking proud of myself.
Shout out Mike, the big DP, so fun to work with. Shout out Dom for helping. Shout out Jay for all these lovely behind the scenes interviews that we're doing. Shout out Aniston for being a great director, and everyone else who helped. Enjoy the film. Enjoy. We worked hard. Hope you enjoy it.